Hey, welcome back, everybody. We are joined here with our second team, as right as rain. First of all, how are you guys doing? We
All
good?
good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see you again. But really quickly, for anyone who may not have tuned in last week, if you want to give a quick rundown, what is your game?
You gave the elevator pitch last time. It's my turn.
Yeah, all right.
Right as Rain is a 1 versus 1 bullet hell, where one player is controlling a boss that fires bullet hell-like attacks, and the other one is the player fighting against the boss and dodging.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So it's been roughly 2 weeks since we last saw you. What have you been working on?
Huge changes.
We got feedback. A lot of it was there needs to be more like feedback on actions and juice, which is like
Yeah.
feedback basically, like input feedback and hit feedback.
Yeah. The user getting response from what they've actually done, so
Yes.
they can tell that they've done something. Yeah.
And UI.
And
Added
yeah,
some
UI.
UI.
That was another big one.
Yeah.
So
It seems like were there sort of like major problems going into there?
UI was a difficult thing to sort of figure out. Obviously, because bullet hells are so chaotic, because there's so much stuff on the screen that you need to keep track of, having UI on top of that is
Yeah.
even
It's sort
more
of clashing
difficult.
colors over each
Exactly.
other and yeah.
So ideally it's as minimal as possible, but I think for the sake of how many controls you need for controlling the boss with all its different moves, especially the boss, we've sort of decided to just make as minimal UI as we can, but some UI.
Segmented from
Yeah,
Yeah, definitely. I think there's just the more from a player perspective, sort of the more information they have to hand, you don't want to leave anything to sort of chance to go, well, what's this?
Yeah.
Why am I doing this? How many of this do I have?
exactly.
Yeah. Obviously,
Um,
obviously it's a balance. You don't want too much and they can't see, but
Yeah.
especially in a game like yours where there's already so much going
exactly.
on the screen.
So it's a difficult balance to strike, but
Yeah, definitely.
we'll get there.
You've got it, yeah, sure, yeah. And so has that sort of been your main focus this week, the UI?
Yeah, definitely one of them. It has been a little bit of a slower development sprint this time, just because we've all been caught up with various other
other-
modules.
yeah.
It was a sprint that we planned to catch up with other work.
Basically.
It was just a little slower. It was more of a walk than a sprint.
But no, yeah, that's good that you're keeping on top of things and recognizing, okay, we need to actually go back and dedicate time
Yeah.
to getting everything done. Yeah.
Um,
So sort of what sort of tasks then have taken up the backlog?
We need more like pickups for
yeah.
the player.
Um,
There's more than I thought there were, but I think we need a little bit more. for
Yeah.
Some variety.
the boss is quite full of like different things you could do. I think he's got a good
He's
8
got
or 9.
He's got
Yeah.
9 attacks.
So he's got a decent amount. But the player's still a little bit lacking in the power up front.
Yeah, I suppose that's going to be one of those things like you want it to be as fair to play on both sides, and you want it to be as fun to play on both
Exactly.
sides.
That's the important part.
And even the top game developers can never strike that, and it's just I'll just play this guy every time to
Yeah.
win. But so it's definitely very difficult.
It's
to
a mixture of sort of power balance and also how much fun you're having either
Yeah,
way.
yeah, exactly.
I did give him a major buff for the most recent build where I
Oh.
more than doubled the boss's health.
Do we have that? Is that?
That is the one that you have.
Oh, okay. So
Ooh,
that'll be
Yes,
nice.
fun to see.
Oh,
the
God.
boss had 4,500 health. Now he's 10,000.
Jesus.
That's a bit more than double.
It's a bit more
a little
than
bit more
double.
than
A little bit
double.
more than double. So it'll be
Wow.
interesting to
Yeah,
see.
God, I'm not
And,
sure. Not sure I'll win this one out.
But so I guess what sort of other things have you been working on this week?
I've been reworking the system that the boss uses to
Oh,
attack
God,
because if done for hours, it's a very unlikely situation, but it would cause memory leaks.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah. Can the game run on for hours?
Well, it only creates a memory leak when you use an attack. So it would be if the player doesn't attack the boss and the boss doesn't kill the player for hours.
Okay, so if you're both really bad, then maybe.
Yeah.
And it can.
I mean,
But-
you
but the
pump the
worst-
boss health up enough. It'll...
True.
Yeah.
But the worst part is you notice when an attack comes because we're using structs at the moment to load in information, and the structs are so big that they copy themselves rather than passing in the information. So every time that happens, there's a slight lag spike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
optimization is, I think, gonna be the theme of,
The
if not next
ever.
week, yeah,
Yeah, okay, yeah,
the one
that's
after
fair.
that. Yeah, it's been we sort of left that by the wayside to try and get the sort of try and find where the fun is and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, so I guess you're kind of stuck in, as I was saying with the previous team, you're stuck in at the minute. The programmers are doing so much work and it's so annoying, and everything breaks and nothing works. Meanwhile, you're just thinking, can we have fun with this? I like fun.
I like fun.
When I get bored of doing the boss system, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna make something else.
Yeah.
on the UI, just a little bit.
A bit of UI, bit of
Don't have time for that. There is code. It calls to you.
I do like it.
Oh, that's good. And remind me again, how many programmers do you have?
we've got a
3.5, including me. So I'm the half.
Yeah.
oh yeah,
Oh,
that's
okay.
fair, that's fair.
Okay, so you're not the
I'm
bulk
not-
of the.
I'm not a programmer.
No, you're on design, but
I do a lot of
he's
programming.
done quite a lot.
maybe go and join Team Fun over here for a bit.
Yeah.
You know, Team Fun just talking about, hey, what do the clouds look like?
That's true, actually.
We have added a little bit more art.
Yeah,
One
another
of the
thing.
piece of feedback was the background was very disorienting. It was
Mm.
moving too fast, and it was very
Mm.
not cluttered, but it was difficult to read anything.
Yeah,
So
and there are a couple UI pieces. So like the bits you use for aiming attacks, that entirely blended in with the background, which is a bit of an oversight. So
Yeah. I suppose that could be a problem, like, because you said, the boss has like 9 different attacks, you have all these, it's a bullet hell, there's so much going on.
Mm.
Eventually you're going to run out of colours, and it's like, wait, we've already used this colour, it's
Exactly.
stacking.
the way we had started programming adding in bullets was I made a very basic raindrop sprite and made it white. And
Which is probably the same colour as a lot of things.
here's the thing. Well, then no one wanted to make a new raindrop sprite because they would just take that old one and recolor it with a color wheel. So we just stuck with that one forever.
Yeah,
And we're still sticking
it's
with it.
it's still that at
So
the
you
moment.
just have a bunch of things that all look identical.
all
Other different
identical,
colours.
but you know,
Eventually you might
Pretty
need to.
rare.
But that's the other half then. It's for like sort of artists and design wise. Do you have a lot of people to make really cool bullet?
we've got
2.
one,
One guy.
one and sort of
1.5.
me.
Wow, there we go.
I do a little bit of art stuff, but
Yeah.
it's mostly Jay, our animator.
Yeah, because the stuff you showed us last week it was really good, but I guess it'll come to it then towards the end when the programming finishes and you need to make it look good.
Exactly.
That's when the hard work begins in terms of
Ooh.
art.
Yeah, there's there's a lot to be done, and having one animator makes it
Yeah,
pretty slow.
I think that's the problem for a lot of the teams in this project is that obviously there's so many programmers, so many designers.
And
There's like 10 writers, 13 animators.
Even less artists.
Exactly.
Because most of them are on other art.
yeah,
Yeah.
there's the
Yeah, so I think everyone's struggling to sort of see what do we actually have. What can you do? What can you do? How can we make a game with
Yeah.
what we have?
it is. I do quite like having a sort of a mix of responsibilities. It's nice not to just do programming, I think. So
Yeah.
I've messed with some of the design ideas and stuff as well as art stuff.
Yeah, it's great. It's a good like for you guys to just dip your toes into other things and
Yeah.
learn new skills, even if you're not gonna necessarily
Yeah,
become amazing
exactly.
at them. It's fun to learn new things, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But definitely next year I'll appreciate having a couple game
Oh,
artists. That'll
yeah.
be good.
Yeah. I suppose it's I get a similar thing from this. It's if I get to sit here and I get to learn about all your fun games,
Ah.
and learn about all the different programming, and I guess the main takeaway I've learned is never program ever. Not fun. No, it's
Nah. Well, when you get it to work, it is a quite satisfying feeling. But
no, never
Feels so
program.
good.
those are
Have
few and
some
far
issue.
between.
Yeah.
It'll feel good at the end of the project when you get to go. I never have to look at that again. Okay, on to the next one.
On to the next one.
It's
Yeah.
always on to the next one.
Um,
No, because so I guess when it comes to like splitting yourself, if you're a designer, then you're splitting yourself. Oh, a little bit of code, little bit of art, a little bit of animation, a little bit of whatever.
yeah. So I'm programming, but
Mhm.
yeah, just
But
a
you've
little
just
bit
sort of floated a bit. and
just sort of
said,
floated
even though
around.
I'm a programmer,
of.
I'm not a pro. You said I don't want to code. That's fair enough. Yeah, I'd say that too.
I've tried to do a little bit
Yeah.
of the
But I guess-
coding, but it's here and there.
Mhm. Yeah, how's that been then? Sort of spreading yourself a bit thin.
A little bit.
Mm.
It's all right.
Yeah.
It's sort of keeping up with some of the things you add in.
I-
Every now and then there'll be a commit on the
It's
on the
just a
GitHub.
new one.
Such
Hey.
as yesterday.
Yeah.
Add this.
It'll be like the most, innocent, innocuous looking. It'll be like a single change, or it'll be a single,
Description.
One line of code.
yeah, one description. But you look into the fork, you look into the actual commit, and it's like 90 different files have been changed.
Ah.
Several new scripts have been created.
Working
So,
hard.
Yeah,
You gotta respect
He
your
is.
That
program.
commit was 2 different systems that I rebuilt.
I
One
know.
that I rebuilt from the ground up, and one that was brand new.
It's
And it was a merge commit, so it made sense to be. A
That's
huge
true.
commit.
That's true. Merge
Did
is
it
hard.
break anything?
No.
No, which
There
is
we
which
go.
is the most
That's
impressive part.
impressive. Well done.
Because I made it all with a system that we weren't using, so when I put it all in, it was like, oh, this is all new. It doesn't have to override it.
I'm just saying, it's a bit scary
It's scary,
sometimes.
So that's the joys of teamwork.
It
So you
is.
just-
It is.
No one.
I didn't give you a warning though.
That's true. You gave me a message saying, "Watch out."
Watch out, commit incoming.
That's it.
Prepare your commits.
Yeah.
I suppose that's similar to what we were saying with the other team. I've lost my point. I don't know what I was going to say. I was saying something with the other team about working with other people and committing. I don't know what that was. I'm not very good at my job. Should I go look at the build?
Yeah. All right.
Okay. So we should have everything set up for you. If you make sure that everything's on that monitor, then it'll show up on that screen.
Nice.
We actually have a build this week as well, which we didn't have. So this will be the first time we get to see
Yeah.
the fun stuff you guys have made. Oh, is it? Oh, if it's a 2-player.
Yes. Did you
Did
bring?
you also want to go and play the build?
Yeah. All right. Did you bring a controller? What fact?
There we go. You want to sit in the other chair and then. Just one of the ones. It's the computer there. Yeah, it's that one. Yeah, take a seat, and if you both put the headsets on. There we go.
On this screen.
Is it not moving off that screen?
Yeah. We've got
We
it on
can
this
we
one.
can put it production. Can we switch to the other screen? I really need some way of talking to them without doing it like that.
It's just yelling.
Alex, can we put it to that screen? And can I get a go ahead if we can put it to that screen? All right, there we go. Then. We're good to go. Okay. Yeah, but I can't see it on here now. Okay, yeah. So run us through then what we are
There we
looking
are.
at, and I'm gonna
Okay.
pick up this mic.
So this is
with
our
you.
new character select screen.
Yeah, it's,
It's not fully realized yet.
no, not just yet, but it's an update from what we've had for a pretty long time.
Yeah.
So.
We've had a PowerPoint for a while that was like some UI or some character UI. All of them were horizontal selections. Our current one, or the previous one was vertical. So the main thing in this update was we
Yeah.
added.
Just having it so
horizontal
it sort of
selection.
corresponds with which characters seen in the background.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. So these are these some of the UI changes that? No, are these some of the UI changes that you had made based on the feedback that you were given then?
Yeah, a little
Yeah, a
bit.
little
Like
bit.
I noticed that there was some confusion on this screen of what to press. So some buttons down here were added, and then these icons are placeholders. They represent what device you're using.
Yes.
I think if I could, what might be better is to move these buttons down here underneath the ready,
Yeah,
so that
maybe.
it's actually you can tell that they're linked.
We also got some pretty recent feedback to just make it clear that you should press one of these two buttons to start the game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that was yeah.
I thought that was
Oh, was that the feedback that you got 10 minutes ago?
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
That was the feedback we got 10 minutes
I
ago.
thought that
Yeah,
was
'cause that was the issue that we were
fairly
having
clear.
loading up the game.
But
Yeah, and then the lightning particle effect that appears
yeah,
when it's
Yeah,
ready.
it's pretty obvious. It's this small person versus this big person,
Yeah,
and you
exactly.
could choose who you want to be.
Yeah.
Okay.
And your color.
well,
Oh, you get to pick your color as well.
Yeah, this is mostly for when there's more than 2 people, but
Yeah.
it,
But
one of
now-
one of our designers really wanted it in. So
So
it's
let's
in.
go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
One of the systems that we worked on is this, which isn't fully realized yet. It should fill with options of what
Different like attacks.
not different attacks, but like
oh, dear.
modifiers for like gameplay. So if you want to give yourself
Yeah.
more health, you can. If
Yeah.
you want to,
more replayability.
yeah,
Yeah.
some options to change up gameplay a little bit, some permanent effects. It's just
Yeah.
not fully realized yet,
Yeah.
so it's not in the build.
Wow. Get into it.
So
Oh, okay.
I'm
so these are-
controlling this little lad down here.
Yeah.
Jesus, straight in.
so these are all the same little.
So yeah,
water
there's
drops,
the
which I see, yeah.
water, recolored water drops.
Oh, okay.
So these got some slightly updated ones for the player, and I think we're hoping to make a separate one for oh god, for
Get-
the
get-
boss.
Try and shoot me now.
And yeah, so this is one of the special boss attacks. This one should have a slightly longer cooldown than
Yep.
most of the other ones.
Okay. So what are all these different UI elements I'm seeing on the top of the screen here?
So that is
Those are all the
Yeah.
boss attacks
Yes.
with the buttons you press and temporary images that represent them.
Okay.
I did grab them from our assets already in the project, so
yeah, they are
they
not
are a bit
entirely
disconnected.
accurate.
Some of them are pretty close actually, but some of them definitely need
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, yeah,
some new
actually.
art.
Oh, okay. So these supposed to be the bumpers and the triggers.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. It's a little hard to understand, but when I know from that context, then I
Yeah.
can get it. Yeah.
Um,
And what's this meter in the bottom left here?
the bottom left is it's not filling up.
No, but
It's
soon to be.
when it works, it will fill up, and whenever there's whenever this down here fills up, it will spawn a pickup, and you fill it by collecting these coins around
these
here.
little circles.
Yeah, which spawn from boss attacks.
Oh, okay.
And that spawning method also needs a little bit of a rework, but it's not been a priority, so I haven't worked on it.
Yeah, it works well enough for now. Ow.
Okay. So just from the first few minutes, I'm starting to think 10,000 health might be a bit too much health.
We have had
I've been going easy. Hold on.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Um,
Oh, actually, no. Maybe 10,000 isn't enough.
Jesus.
So how much control over like where the attacks go and how you move as the boss do you have?
So there's 2 reticles. One is this floating hurricane,
Mhm.
and one is the there's a little reticle on the boss that always points at the hurricane, and that one is like just a directional fire, and then
Yeah.
the rest either use the hurricane, the boss's position, or the player's position. Like
Okay.
that this attack right here uses the player's position. Which one's this attack? That one uses the boss's position. And this one, which is set to the wrong button because it shouldn't be attacking like that, is set to the we call it the free reticle.
So there's a couple different forms of ow.
Unlucky.
10,000 might be a bit much.
Maybe.
Well, they're going to come join me back down in the second. We can talk about what fun we all just had. This microphone back. Alright. So overall, that looked actually really fun. I think it could definitely be like, I can imagine like fun party nights with friends playing that game.
It's supposed to be quick sessions, and
Yeah, lots of like back and forth.
when
quick-
there's 2 on each side or 1 versus
Oh,
3,
God.
it gets really funny and crazy.
Yeah,
It
I can
doesn't
imagine
work properly, but it's fun.
That
Oh,
was the more than 2 players was a thing I added quite a long time ago, so without really telling anyone. Yeah.
I custom commits now, like, okay,
Um,
sure.
If you get that working, that's great. But I think on its own as a 2-player, you still have something. you
It's
still
been
have to
designed.
do it. Yeah.
mostly.
Yeah. I suppose you have to do different balance changes depending on how many. you have.
Probably.
The main one I'm thinking of is just divide the health by the number of users.
Yeah, so if you've got lots and lots of people on the player side and one boss character, then you probably need a slightly bigger health pool to deal with
Yeah,
all
definitely.
of
Yeah.
them.
But I think you can see
Although-
it's all gone really well. I can see the UI change you made over the past weeks, but I think for now, if we wrap up there, that's about what we have time for.
It's all good.
Thank you guys for joining me. I can't wait to see what you guys have in 2 more weeks, but for now, I guess we'll cut to another break, and then we have one more surprise guest coming.
Ooh, exciting. Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you. There we go. All right. Thank you.